Welcome back to Dumb Crimes and Criminals. I am your host, Rick. You're now tuned in to the funniest true crime podcast in the world. We are back in the building. Today's story coming from a place I've never been. This story happened in Kentucky. Okay, we're going to Kentucky on this one. Now, let me say this. One thing I do know is when you're on these highways, you know, when at these rest stops and just traveling these long highways and all that, like, police is on high alert. You know what I'm saying? Like, they looking for traffickers, they looking for speeders, they looking for all type of stuff on these highways, you know, and the rest stops and all that. They on high alert, you know. I remember when we moved here, me and the wife, we had to come out here and do some paperwork, right? So we drove out. It was a day trip, you know what I mean? Long ride, but we like car rides and stuff, you know. We like it. So it was a 9.5 hour ride. So we drove out here. If I'm not mistaken, it might have been like on a Saturday. We had to come out and fill out some paperwork for the crib or whatever. But once we got out here, we ate, we was chilling. Then we was like, you know what? Should we stay the night and then just head out tomorrow? Or should we just, just make it like a day trip? Like, we just come out, we doing the paperwork, grab some food, chill for a little bit, and then dip out. So we was like, debating for a little bit. Then we say, you know what, we're gonna ride out. We got energy, we just filled the paperwork out. We seen the crib, we was just in the whole, like, just, like, we was at the crib doing, so we was in the vibe. Like, we was energetic. We was like, yo, we good. Let's just ride out tonight. It's all good. A couple hours into the trip, I was getting tired. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna pull over on the side of the road, and I just need like an hour. So let me get like an hour nap. So I pulled over. And in like 5 minutes, I see lights behind me. So it's one of the patrol people, whoever that patrolling the highway. They be patrolling, I guess, whatever the case. So he, thought something was wrong probably. Car pulled over to the side. I had to, I think I had my hazards on, I'm not sure. But he came up. He's like, hey, man, everything all right? Just want to make sure y'all good, whatever. I was like, yeah, man. I said, you know what? I just pulled over because my eyes was getting heavy. You know what I'm saying? I got a long ride. I've been on the road for a couple of hours. My eyes is getting heavy. He's like, all right. He's like, you think you could do me a favor? He said, you think you can make it to the next rest stop? Because, it's dangerous to just be pulled over on the side of the road. Because I was like on the shoulder, something like that. And I was like, all right, I got you. Right? He gets in his car. He pulls off. Right? Now, mind you, he pulls off before us. So I said, cool, he's going. I'm going to drive for like 10 minutes and I'm going to pull back over because I need this. I need to rest my eyes, right? He's long gone. I pull off. Like 10 minutes, I pull back over. I say, yo, I got to rest my eyes. Within 5 minutes, I see lights behind me. I said, did this dude make a U-turn? But then I'm like, how can he make a U-turn? Because we're on a long highway. There's no U-turns. There's no, you know what I'm saying? You either going this way, you either going or coming. Like, in this shit in between. So you can't, there's no way he turned around. I said, what the hell? Dude come up. It was another dude. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So now I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, how often are you guys on this road? Because this was literally like 10 minutes apart. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the same guy. It was a whole different guy. As soon as I pulled over, I was there for like 5 minutes. I told him the same thing. I said, you know what? I'm going to go to the next spot. A couple miles down the road, there was a rest stop. I pulled in there. Couldn't get no sleep, of course. I got like 2 Red Bulls, and then I just drove the last 4 or 5 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was good. But I don't know if it was just, sometimes you could be sleepy, and then once you get up, you just get that spark. I guess that's what happened. But once I got to the rest stop and I said, okay, I'm going to park here. You know how they got the gas station and all that. I said, okay, I'm going to park here. Just give me like an hour. I got no sleep. Tossed and turned. I probably slept for like 15 minutes. I said, you know what? Let me get a Red Bull and let me get up out of here. Jumped on the road. About 4 or 5 hours. We was at the crib. So I know they don't play around on these highways and in these rest stops and these parking lots. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody see you in the parking lot and you're there for too long, or they feel you doing something suspicious, best believe somebody's calling the police. You know what I mean? Somebody's calling the cops on you. Now let's go to Kentucky. All right. Your man David Ratliff is 43 years old. He was passed out in his car on a Friday in the park in a video store, right? On US Route 21 in Manchester, about 100 miles south of Lexington. Now, what video store he was passed out in, I have no idea. What video stores are still open nowadays, I have no idea. Okay, I come from the era of Blockbuster and Hollywood Video. Those is long gone. All right. I don't know what my man was doing, but here's the thing. He was asleep in the car. Right? He was asleep. Again, you're going to bring, if you go to a public place in a public parking lot and just sleep in your car, right? Eventually, you're going to bring attention to yourself because people is going to start wondering, yo, is he, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what's going on over there? That man been in that car linked to the side like that for 9 hours. What's going on? You're going to bring attention to yourself by doing that, right? So, of course, police gets called. Police comes up to the man, taps on the window, he wakes up. They ask for his ID. Yo, my man, you got license and ID on you, man? Let me see some ID or whatever the case. He whips out a bag of meth, pills, and a large sum of cash and gives it to the cops. He had 9 grams of meth, several fentanyl pills, $3,034 in cash. This is what he handed the police when they asked for his ID. He handed them 9 grams of meth, several fentanyl pills, and $3,034 cash money when they asked him for his ID. What my man was on, I don't know. He was probably getting high on his own supply. That's why he was knocked out in the parking lot, because he was getting high on his own supply. There's no way you're not high. I don't care how tired you are. There's no way you're not high if a policeman asks you for your ID and you hand him a bag with 9 grams of meth, several fentanyl pills, and $3,034 in cash. When he asks you for your driver's license, you are high somewhere up there by Mars. You somewhere up there by Mars. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you're by Mars. You cannot be that high. Like, for real. Now, my thing is this. If you driving and you got all this stuff on you, right? Why would you do anything to cause attention to yourself? I never understood that. I've done a lot of stories about people that's had all type of whatever in their car and they was doing dumb shit, right? I never understood that. If you know you got XYZ in the car, you need to be following all laws. You need to be sober. You need to be not giving them no reason to look at you, right? You got meth and fentanyl on you and you sleep in the parking lot, causing all type of attention to yourself. Do you not know you got meth and fentanyl in your car? You understand what I'm saying? Like, why are you causing all of this attention to yourself and you're dirty? That's why I say, if you're going to ride dirty, ride clean. And I'm not promoting that. You know what I'm saying? That's just a saying that I got from doing these stories. And I'm like, damn, but if he had, XYZ on him, why is he speeding? Damn, if he had XYZ on him, why is he swerving? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yo, we have to use our brains. We got to use our brains. And they charge him with drug trafficking and controlled substance and public intoxication. You're on the highway with fentanyl, meth, and money. and you're intoxicated. I don't understand it, man. I don't. Let me know what y'all think. If y'all had all this stuff on you, again, we're not advocating for dumb shit. You understand? We're just here to talk about the dumb shit and be hypothetical. Hypothetically speaking, if that was me, I'm not going to be intoxicated if I had that on me. I might be in an Uber if that was me, right? And if I was driving, I'm going to do the limit, have my seatbelt on, I'm going to be sober as hell, and I'm just going to ride on cruise control, the speed limit. The speed limit 55, I got my cruise control set to 55. I'm in the middle lane, I'm riding. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not looking for attention. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be heard. I got meth and fentanyl and money in my car. I'm trying to be invisible. I don't understand it, man. Now he locked up with a drug trafficking charge, a controlled substance charge, and a public intoxication charge. My man, was it worth it? Was it worth it? Like, because at the end of the day, I don't know if they're going to say he was, distributing or using. I don't know how he going to plead, whatever the case. But just the hassle alone, come on, man. Come on, man. They not playing, yo. You get caught riding on a highway like that with something, you automatically trafficking. And where you going? Because if you're on a highway like that, 9 times out of 10, you driving through a few different states. And you got that on you. So they're going to be like, oh, you transported that from this state to this state. In that state. Because that's what these highways is. You traveling from state to state. And you got that on you, you're drug trafficking. I want to know what video store parking lot he was in. Like what the hell? What type of video store is around right now? What is it, GameStop parking lot? Like, why did they call GameStop a video store? If that's where he was. It just says video store. I know damn well it ain't no DVD type of situation going on, because what the hell? If that's the case, lock him the fuck up. Nah, I'm joking, but for real, what type of video store was he in? Because I don't know. But yeah, man, if you're gonna ride dirty, ride clean, man. I would prefer you not to ride dirty, but who am I? You know what I'm saying? I'm just the host of Dumb Crimes and Criminals. So again, like I said, I would prefer you not to ride dirty, but if you're gonna ride dirty, ride clean. You know what I'm saying? Ride clean. Don't cause attention to yourself. Ride invisible. Out of sight, out of mind. You don't want to be seen. You don't want to be heard. You know what I mean? Like, for real. You falling asleep in the parking lot, you look crazy. They should have said how long he was asleep for. I'm interested in that, to know how long was you asleep there. Because, again, if he was getting high on his own supply, he probably was there for a minute. People probably pulled into work at 7 o'clock. Seen him sleep, like, oh, damn, my man sleep. Pulled out of work at 3:30, 4 o'clock. He's still in the same spot. They probably like, yo, I got to call the cops. Like, what's going on over there? Dude in the gray car over there stretched. I don't know. We might have to do a wellness check on that man or something. For real. But yeah, man, I'm about to get up out of here, man. That was today's episode. Again, man, if you're going to ride dirty, ride clean. You know what I'm saying? Also, if y'all could do me a favor, if you're listening to this podcast right now, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their friend to tell their cousin, brother, mother, sister, aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, to tell their friends about the podcast. You understand what I'm saying? Let's spread the news about the podcast. It don't cost you no money. It's the funniest true crime podcast in the world. And I bring y'all some wild stories. So spread it. And feel free to share it on your social medias if you want to. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we about to get up out of here. Appreciate y'all for checking in. If you got a funny story you want to send me, hit the email, thedccpodcast@gmail.com. I'm going to holler at you.